Jim Carrey, one of the most iconic and beloved actors in Hollywood, known for his rubber-faced expressions, larger-than-life comedic talent, and a unique ability to make audiences laugh and cry. Carrey dominated the 1990s and early 2000s. Movies like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, Zrenia, Dumb and Dumber established him as a comedy king, while the Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind showcased his dramatic range. Yet despite his monumental success, Jim Carrey's career took a turn that many didn't see coming. The man who once seemed unstoppable faced professional challenges, personal struggles, and controversies that led to what many have called the downfall of his career. Let's take a deep dive into what happened to Jim Carrey, exploring the reasons behind his career slowdown and what the future might hold for this legendary performer. Jim Carrey's rise to fame was nothing short of extraordinary. After starting in stand-up comedy, he made his way to television with In Living Color. This sketch comedy show became the perfect platform for Carrey to showcase his wild comedic style and talent for impersonations. His big break came in 1994 with 3 back-to-back box office hits: Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Each film solidified his place in Hollywood as a comedic genius. From there, Carrey expanded his repertoire into The Truman Show. 1998, he delivered a groundbreaking performance that earned him critical acclaim and a Golden Globe. This was followed by The Man on the Moon and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, further proving that he was not just a funny man, but a versatile actor capable of deep, dramatic performances. But as his career soared, cracks began to form. One of the first signs of trouble for Carrey's career was overexposure. Between 1994 and the early 2000s, Carrey appeared in a string of major films, many of which followed a similar formula: over-the-top comedy driven by his eccentric characters. While this formula worked initially, it eventually led to audience fatigue. People began to feel that Carrey's comedic roles lacked variety and relied too heavily on slapstick humor. Films like The Cable Guy and Me, Myself, and Irene received mixed reviews, with some critics accusing Carrey of being repetitive. Even though Carrey tried to reinvent himself with dramatic roles, the transition wasn't always smooth. Audiences who loved his comedic performances weren't always ready to accept him in more serious films, and some of his dramas struggled at the box office. As the 2000s progressed, Carrey's box office draw began to wane. Films like The Fun with Dick and Jane and The Number 23 failed to connect with audiences. While he continued to deliver occasional hits like The Bruce Almighty, the consistency of his earlier career was gone. One of the most significant blows came with Yes Man, 2008. While it wasn't a total failure, the film didn't achieve the level of success expected from a Jim Carrey project. The same could be said for Mr. Popper's Penguins, 2011, a family comedy that felt like a far cry from his earlier triumphs. Another factor in Carrey's career slowdown was the emergence of a new generation of comedic actors. Stars like Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, and Seth Rogen began dominating the comedy landscape, bringing a different style of humor that resonated with younger audiences. Carrey's brand of comedy, which relied heavily on physicality and exaggerated expressions, started to feel dated in comparison to the more grounded, awkward humor of the new era. While Carrey's professional life faced challenges, his personal life was no less tumultuous. Over the years, Carrey has been open about his battles with depression. Despite his ability to make millions laugh, he has admitted to struggling with his mental health behind the scenes. In 2015, Carrey faced a significant controversy following the tragic death of his ex-girlfriend, Katharina White. White's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Carrey, alleging that he provided her with prescription drugs that contributed to her passing. The case brought intense media scrutiny and damaged Carrey's public image. Although the lawsuit was eventually dismissed, the ordeal took a toll on Carrey personally and professionally. Around this time, Carrey began stepping away from Hollywood. He became increasingly disillusioned with fame and the entertainment industry. In interviews, Carrey expressed frustration with the superficiality of Hollywood and a desire to focus on more meaningful pursuits. This shift in priorities was evident in his decision to focus on painting and other artistic endeavors. Carrey poured his emotions into his artwork, creating pieces that were both vibrant and thought-provoking. While this allowed him to explore a new creative outlet, it also meant that he was no longer actively pursuing major film roles. The Hollywood landscape also changed dramatically during during Carrey's career slowdown. The rise of superhero franchises and CGI-heavy blockbusters left little room for the mid-budget comedies and dramas that Carrey had excelled in. Studios began focusing on films with built-in audiences, like Marvel and DC movies, while comedies increasingly shifted to streaming platforms. This left veteran actors like Carrey with fewer opportunities to shine on the big screen. And despite these challenges, Carrey has shown that he still has what it takes to captivate audiences. In 2018, he starred in the Showtime series Kidding, a dark comedy drama that earned him critical acclaim. His performance as a children's TV host dealing with personal tragedy reminded audiences of his dramatic talent. In 2020, Carrey returned to the big screen as Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog. The film was a surprise hit, and Carrey's over-the-top performance was widely praised. It proved that Carrey could still bring his signature energy and humor to a modern audience. While Carrey's career has undoubtedly had its ups and downs, it's clear that he remains a beloved figure in Hollywood. Fans continue to hope for his return to the spotlight, whether through comedy, drama, or something entirely new. Carrey himself has hinted at retirement, stating that he's content with where he is in life and no longer feels the need to chase success. Whether he chooses to step away from the industry for good or surprise us with another unforgettable performance, one thing is certain: Jim Carrey's impact on Hollywood and comedy will never be forgotten. Jim Carrey's journey is a testament to the highs and lows of fame. While his career may not be what it once was, his legacy as one of the most talented and versatile actors of his generation remains intact. Only time will tell what the next chapter holds for this comedic genius.